today I wanted to film this look that I have on right now. I'm really happy with how the look turned out. It's kind of like a bronzy gold skeleton, and it's creepy but kind of pretty, kind of glamorous. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look, and thank you so much for watching. Alright, so I already primed my skin with the Becca Backlight priming filter, and then my foundation I'm using is the Estee Lauder Double Wear in a mixture of the colors 1W2 and 2W2, which I know is a little bit dark for me right now, but it all works out in the end. And then I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in Fair Beige to highlight the different points of my face, and the Flower Beauty Sponge to blend everything out. Then I set everything with the Lancome Absolute powder in the color Absolute Peach, or Pesh, using a Crown blush brush. And then I started outlining the shape of my cheekbones with the Essence Kajal pencil in white. And you can see here I'm really looking at it to make sure that both sides are even, because I want to make sure that it looks as symmetrical as it possibly can. And then I'm outlining the nose and right above the eyebrows to give that kind of skeleton-y shape to my face. And I found it really helps to fill out the eye socket by feeling the actual socket of your eye and then drawing right on top of it. And then right here I thought that the cheekbones were a little bit too high, so I wanted to lower them down so I could kind of make it look more realistic and a little more edgy. And then I filled in my cheekbones with a mixture of the Physicians Formula Argan Wear Primer Spray and the NYX Ultra Pearl Mania, which is like a pigment powder in a coppery shade. The shade wasn't on the bottle, but it was pretty coppery and kind of gold undertoned. And then I set the cheekbone with the shade Atuni from the Blink and BoxyCharm Electric Eyes palette using a Crown Chisel blender brush. And this shading just adds a nice shape to the edge of the cheekbones and kind of makes the shape look a little bit more 3D, which I love. And then I deepened the edge using the shade Magic from the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. And then I set the middle of the cheekbone with this gold shade from the Morphe 350 palette. And then I took this brown shade with a Maybelline eyeliner brush and just shaded around the front and the top edge of the cheekbone to add more of a 3D effect. I added more of a golden sheen with this Hard Candy Baked Eyeshadow single, and it was in a bright gold shade. I got it from Walmart for Christmas like maybe 3 years ago. I took the shade Sunset from the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette from Tarte to set that gold down. And then I used my beloved Dose of Colors Desi Katy Fuego highlighter to set everything down with the Morphe M530 brush. I filled in the eye sockets that I drew using the same NYX Pigment and Physicians Formula Primer Spray and the same crown brush as well. Then I set the wet mixture with just the dry NYX Pigment and a Crown Chisel Fluff brush. And here I started filling in the other hollows of my face using that same pigment mixture. And you know I gotta listen to my pump up music when I do Halloween looks. So here I'm rapping Paradise by Big Sean, which is a bomb ass song. And then after filling in those hollows, I took this taupe colored shade from the Morphe palette just to outline my forehead and kind of above the eyebrows to give that three-dimensional shape to my face. And for this I used the Crown Chisel blender brush. And I took that same taupe shade and contoured my nose with the Crown Chisel blender brush as well. And I added more dimension to the shapes on my face, like the eyebrows and the nose area, using this dark brown shade from the Morphe palette and then a Morphe E18 brush. And then you guys will see my camera stopped filming and I didn't realize. So while the camera was off, I actually filled in these different hollows of my face using that same pigment mixture, and then I set everything down with the gold hard candy pigment, and then I also added some shading above the eyebrow shapes as well. And then I outlined the shape of my nose using this Lorac eye pencil in gold. And I thought I was going to use this pencil more throughout the tutorial, but the undertone is kind of a green-gray color with just some gold sparkles. So I would have used it more, but it wasn't gold enough. And then I'm filling in the nose shape with the pigment and primer mixture, and then I'm going to set it down with the hard candy gold eyeshadow. Man, I've had that shadow for years, and it has been through some shit. And then I outlined the nose shape with a Juvia's Place eyeshadow in the shade Casablanca, which is just beautiful. And I used the Maybelline eyeliner brush to do this. I highlighted the high points of my face with the Desi Katy Fuego highlighter. Damn, that looks good. And I used a Morphe E8 brush. Then I used this Morphe M504 brush and that taupe shade from the Morphe palette to cover the entire lid. And I followed it up with this darker brown shade as well, just to add some more dimension. And then I took the amazing Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette that I just love, and the shade Soda Pop, and I just put that right above my lash line with the Crown Chisel brush. Then I took that Morphe 350 palette and used the taupe shade and the Crown blending brush and just kind of filled in the outside of the eye sockets to add a 3D shape and make them look pretty hollow. And I'll be honest, I had a pretty hard time carving out these teeth. It took a lot of trial and error, but in the end, I think it ended up looking good. So I started out using the Essence eye pencil that I used earlier, and then I deepened those lines using the Ulta eyeliner in deep brown to add some more shape to it. And then I filled between those lines with the white pencil, and I ended up setting it down with a cream shade from the Morphe 350 palette. Then I ended up deepening the color of the teeth with a brown shade from the Morphe palette and a Crown Mini Smudger brush. I actually ended up getting rid of this and covering it up with a different lipstick, but I wanted to show you guys kind of the honest trial and error that happens when you're doing Halloween tutorials. So I ended up wiping that off, and I used the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in gold. And then I added some more sparkle to the lipstick using the Wet n Wild Color Icon Glitter Single in brass. Then I took this dark brown shade from the Morphe palette and I used a Crown Detail liner brush and once again tried to deepen the shape of the teeth, which ended up looking a lot better. It was hard to get it even, but it looked a lot better than it did before, so I actually came out pretty happy. And then I lined my waterline and tight lined with the L'Oreal Infallible Eyeliner in Carbon Black. Then the falsies I used were from Ardell, and they were from the Holiday Lookbook in shape 120, and I used the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara on my top and bottom lashes. And then to create the gold leaf look on my lips, which I actually ended up liking a lot better than the teeth, I used the Eyelure Lash Fix glue and then this gold leaf stuff that I got from a local craft store. And I wanted the gold leaf on my lips to look pretty uneven and messy, so I didn't try to keep everything perfect and inside the lines. And that's kind of why I kept the eyes so simple, just a small falsie, and I think it made the lips stand out more. I wanted to bring that gold leaf to more parts of my face as well, like my nose and my cheekbones and my forehead, and I think it ended up looking pretty bomb when it was kind of spread all around the face. Alright everybody, so this is how the look came out. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to see more videos that'll come out in the future, and have a happy Halloween! People wonder who's next up. That conversation really ends here.